Assalamu alaikum, this is Abu Bakr here. Today we will discuss weighted average cost of capital. Now, weighted average cost of capital is the rate that a company is expected to pay on average to all its security holders. In other words, it is the firm's cost of capital or the opportunity cost that a company holds for investing in a particular project. In this particular example, we have to solve these three questions. The first one is to calculate the weighted average cost of capital for these two companies, the Riffian company and Silurian company. The data for these two companies given here. First of all, we will understand the cost of equity and net of cost of loan capital, which will further be used to calculate the weighted average cost of capital. The formula for the cost of equity of ordinary shares is dividends paid for the year divided by the current market price of the ordinary shares plus the dividend growth rate. Following this formula, we have this calculated here. First of all, we have selected this cell, which is the dividend paid divided by the total market value of ordinary shares. Now the total market value of ordinary shares is calculated by multiplying this and this, which is market value of the ordinary shares and the number of ordinary shares. Similarly, to find the net cost of loan capital, we have followed this formula, which says that the cost of loan capital is interest into 1 minus tax rate. Following this formula here, first of all, we have selected this B8, which is the gross interest yield or interest rate of the loan capital, into 1 minus B11, which is annual tax rate. We have calculated for these two companies. Now we will move on to find the weighted average cost of capital. The weighted average cost of capital is calculated by weighing these two source of capitals, which are cost of equity and net cost of capital. We have put these values which I calculated earlier, which is 12.9 and 5.6 and 66.7, and weight is calculated by dividing the cost of the total amount of equity, which is 20 million for Riffian company, divided by total equity, which is 20 million plus 10 million, and the weight of loan capital is calculated by dividing loan by total value of capital for the Riffian company. Now the weighted cost is calculated by multiplying these two, cost and weight. Similarly, we have calculated these weighted costs for Silurian company. Now moving on to the next question, which is to discuss two possible reasons why the cost of ordinary share capital differs between these two companies, which are 10.4 or 10.5% and 14.5%. The reasons for this variance is that these two companies may belong to different industries, which may further result into different risk involved. And the second the second reason may be the different level of gearing involved, which further leads to difference in risk involved. The third question is to discuss two limitations of using the weighted average cost of capital when making decisions. Now, the limitations of weighted average cost of capital are that we assume that capital structure will remain stable over the period of time, and the second reason is, or the limitation is, that the difference of level of risk involved in these two investments. Thank you.